जी, the problem is today when we talk about adulteration, a lot of people think that ठीक है थोड़ा बहुत color डाल दिया, थोड़ा बहुत changes कर दिया. But the problem is these people are using chalk powder, they're using detergents, and these are happening at a very large scale. We're talking about thousands of kgs of Mawa and such items, adulterated items being recovered. So when all of this goes inside a person's body, what are the sort of damages that it can do?
Right, like urea is being added, detergent is being added, chalk powder is being added, paper pulp, paper is
Absolutely.
being
This is
added.
Shikaji, sorry to interrupt you. I also heard about this, the fact that urea is one of the most commonly used agents for adulteration. And I was shocked when I saw this.
Absolutely. Now, what will happen? And even hydrogen peroxide is added. Now, hydrogen peroxide, even in hair colors, people are not using because it damages the scalp. So imagine you're directly drinking that hydrogen peroxide milk or hydrogen peroxide, adulterated foods item. So what happens? Firstly, this will damage the intestine. The intestine has a very sophisticated immune system, and it's a network of nerves. So when your immunity is damaged, all those health problems which we see in winter start popping up. Whether it's allergy, asthma, blood sugar problems, all of them. Then at the level 2, it goes into the liver. So today, if you see that how many people have fatty liver, it's not that everybody is having alcohol. A very small portion is having alcohol, but so many other people are having fatty liver, thanks to all these adulterants. The third level where it goes is
Correct.
basically the heart and the lungs, because allergies, asthmas, skin problems, and in smaller children, and especially pregnant women, it also leads to nervous disorders, nerve-related disorders. If you see, a lot of kids have things which are made of these adulterated milk products and adulterated other, which are mostly in the sweet range. And then when they come to the doctors with
Correct.
diabetes, which is at a very young age, when they come with allergies which are unexplained, there are no explanation for those allergies. When they come with lactose intolerance, gluten enteropathy, kidney problems. I mean, if you see the number of dialysis centers which have to support kidney patients, it's not only insulin, it is also all these adulterants directly damaging the kidney. Because at the end of the day, whatever we eat has to be eliminated from the kidney and from the intestine. So we are living in a chemical food condition. We are living in a condition where there's so much chemicalization of food that the body is not able to handle these chemicals.
Absolutely, Dr. Shikha ji, the fact that you're saying we're living in a chemical pool, it just sounds scary, but not very surprising, because I even saw a research study, I haven't quoted it yet. I saw the fact that it was published, I think, on NCBI, the fact that 80% of the food in India, across all categories, 80% of it is adulterated. I'll of course go across to Mahesh ji here. Mahesh ji, again, we talk a lot about adulteration, especially during this particular season. But when it comes to food issue, when it comes to food, when it comes to various other items that we consume as well, what exactly happens here? How is it adulterated? Now, we talk a lot about being proud as Indians. Even I'm a proud Indian, but the world really laughs at our civic sense and also the lack of hygiene standards in India. What needs to be done? Because clearly educating people about it isn't working. What more should we do?
Ashish, one thing I agree with Dr. Shikha also. It is not just the chemicals are getting added. I would go a little further, and it is like assault of chemicals on human bodies and minds in India, and of course many parts of the world. And what are the medical problems we are seeing could be emanating from either the food or the adulterated or spurious medicines. So that is the story. Now, we Indians, for that matter, or anybody, any citizens of any country, they are not supposed to be like we have a civic sense and all that. It's all like cleanliness, everything. But when the threaded food is coming from other source other than my own kitchen, then it has to be of good quality, and that is the duty of the government, and it is coming from the directive principles of the constitution, that it is the duty of the state to protect the life of citizens. And this law, Food Safety and Standards Act, also says that it is not just the quality of the food there, it is the savior of the people. And therefore, I am again saying that keep whatever is happening in this country about the food. It is not just during the festive season. This could be we talk about this happening, but it is happening all the time, as I said earlier. So country needs to rise to this in the sense that they should be aware that these things are happening day in and day out, and they should question the machinery. They should question the people's representative. What are they doing? You're asking for our votes. What are you doing to protect our lives? Nobody is asking this. And if nothing is happening, people are complacent and they are making huge money profit out of this at the cost of people's lives. Now, what people have to do, they really, I keep on hearing that how to test khoya or the Mawa, you say, and how to test. Who will test it? The adulterants are such that nobody can do much about this. But the adulterants are very, very difficult to test. And if you take a survey, how many purchasers have tested it? Probably it will be in fraction or may not be on fraction also. So that is like theoretically, it's okay, you do this at home and then you do it. What is important is that the corruption in this industry, the governmental system, Dr. Indani has said that machinery is, inadequate. I was food safety commissioner for Maharashtra for 3 years. I exactly know that within the given machinery, you can do wonders if you put them in place. So the corruption is the root cause of all these things. It is not that the people are bad, the manufacturers are bad, suppliers are bad. They can be controlled. This is if you go to USA or many European countries, see the stringency comes from the enforcement of law, and that law enforcement comes from the transparency and corruption-free administrative system. This country should realize that this is the root cause of the food adulteration and nothing else. If they start doing cracking their whip from tomorrow, nothing, things will start improving in a month or two. That is there. But country should realize, not that like who should do what and who should not. Corruption, and I would not attribute this corruption to the political level. This is happening at the implementation level. And then like the secretary of the
Absolutely.
department.
Maheshji, this is a deep-rooted issue. I think that's the biggest takeaway of this entire discussion. The fact that it's happening at such a deeper level that multiple agencies have to now get involved. And also, like you rightly pointed out, we speak a lot about detection methods. For example, I was asking someone, how do we detect something that's adulterated? They told me you have to use a test tube and everything. And I'm thinking, if I go to a sweet store, if I go to buy sweets, I wouldn't carry a test tube with me. I look at the sweet, I like it and I buy it. I mean, the fact that you need to be concerned about that so much, it's just upsetting. Before we wrap this discussion, Dr. Sanjay ji, I only got a minute on the broadcast. What do I do? For example, if I have an adulterated sweet that I've brought, or if I know of an incident that's happening of adulteration, how do I report it? Who do I report it to? What exactly is the action that I can take?
See, there are multiple portals where you can report. The very first is the state FDA, okay? And once you report to state FDA, now as a consumer, I have right to take the sample and send it for testing at my cost. Okay, if as a NGO or something I want, okay? Otherwise, okay, I can report it to FDA portal, or FSSAI has a dedicated portal, dedicated line where the report can be given, reporting can be done, or the photos can be uploaded. There's a WhatsApp number where you can send the image and send the message. So all said and done, all this is there. The regulatory authority is handling at least thousands of complaints every day. They have a dedicated, you can say, a team who will be taking care of that, and the root cause and all those will be evaluated. But as a consumer, I should not go for an option which is cheaper, particularly in this festive season, because if I do go for unorganized, unpacked food, loose material, where I don't know the brand, okay, there is no proper labeling, at least that I should be making out. And there is a lot of money being spent by government, almost 25 lakhs of people, those who are working in industry, food safety supervisors have been trained. A lot of training campaigns have been done right up to Anganwadi. So I think the authority is working on it. It's not that you just change the card and everything will change. Okay. So as mentioned by Zagade sir, he was
the apparatus, the state apparatus is working on it. How efficiently are they doing it? That's a big question. And of course, it is sad that we are sitting here and talking about it during festive season. We should of course be talking about the different kind of sweets that are available, but here we are sitting talking about the kind of adulterants that are used. And I think of course a lot needs to change as well. We talk about civic sense, we talk about hygiene. I think these are changes that, of course, government can do a lot about, but at the end of the day, it has to come from within. Mahesh ji, Dr. Sanjay and Dr. Shikha,